Okay, so in part one of this video series, you would have heard me mention something called a master task that would be very helpful when you would like to control the order in which multiple tasks are executed. So this is part 3 of the series, and I'll be showing you how to set up a master task that will run a simple Hello World C++ program. It will also work for any other regular C++ program that doesn't require additional path locations or linkers, but if it is a requirement for you, they can be added. Okay, so let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to locate our .vscode folder, which is just going to hold our configuration files. And we're going to find the task.json. You would have recognized this code from the previous video and also this one. But I am now, since I have did some research and I was able to figure out how the whole master task works, I was able to get this code that I'm just going to copy over. So I can just copy everything. All right, so I'm just going to basically, oh yeah, by the way, if you see this little icon right here, you can actually press it and it will just simply collapse everything. So if you have these big tasks, then yeah, it's a way to sort of get things more compressed. So yeah, very useful feature. Well, for me, my tasks aren't that big, so I don't really need to use it, and I kind of like to have them, kind of see what tasks are being displayed here. Okay, so this is the master task. Now let's take a look at what's happening. So it says it's a build and run. So this is the label I gave it. It's of the type shell. And okay, so this would be quite familiar to you. But so this part now is important. The depends order is going to be a sequence. So it means one after the other. And this is even going to be more important, which is the part that says depends on. Now let's check this out. So in line 17, we see build regular code only task, and then the comma, and then we see this other section, run regular C++ code in external terminal. So what's happening? When this task is launched, it's going to come down to here, and it's going to launch this task first. Now, as you can see with I think this is the IntelliSense, we see that this line and this line is the same wording, so they're both highlighted. So it means that this task is going to be run first. So before this even runs, we're going to run this one first. And we realize that this would be a simple build task. You would recognize this. And then now this next part, the next section here, if you come down, there we go. Then this section is going to be run next. So once these two tasks are run, 1 and 2, then it's going to come up here now and it's going to run this task finally. So this task that you launch is going to be run last, or this first task that you would launch, sorry. So you run this task and this is what is going to be run. So okay, so let's see it happening. So let's go over to the hello world, and of course we have to save it. And I'm going to press Control R. Remember from one of my last videos, I selected Control R as the run. But okay, before that, I'm going to go back to the task, and notice that isDefault is set to true. Come down, that's the first one, and this one is set to true, but this one is set to false. Now this is where your own preference comes in. So for me, well, I mean, I want to basically run this task because in the end it's the master, so it's going to be deciding which tasks are run. So I'm going to set this to false. So if I set this to false, this is going to be the second task I'm setting to false, and I leave the master task on true, then this is the only task that is going to be displayed. But if you want, you could just set them all to true. So all right, let's do that. So TRUE, true, and let's set this one to true. And let's see what happens. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to come here, Control R. You can press, if you have Control Shift B, that's how you do it if you have not created the shortcut. But I'm using Control R. So there you go. Here's the 3. So you can select any one you want, but the one that I am going to select is the build and run, because as you can see up here, it's the one that it has the label build and run, and this is in the master task format. So I'm going to go again, Control R. I'm going to say build and run. So let's see what happens. So there we go. We're starting the build. We're going to wait. build successfully. Okay, then it's going to move to the second task, which is going to be executing this line. And then here we go, command prompt is launched, Windows command prompt, and there's a hello world, right? So here we go. So see, it finished successfully. Then it executed the second task, and then now, so these are two tasks that have been done right there. Then I'm going to say, then I'm going to close it. Now I'm going to bring to your attention this key. Now you probably didn't notice it at first, but take a look at this. You remember you have label, type, and then you would have command, but what's going on? It's missing. This line has it. Well, that's the thing. In this setup, I actually removed command. So this basically is, you could probably call it a dummy task, but basically it's not, the only purpose that this task has is just simply to tell these two tasks what order to run, basically. If you want, you could actually add a command and you could maybe do something with it. But for now, I just left it, and basically I can have as many tasks running in succession or in a sequence as I want. So for example, this is running 2. I could create a third task down here, and I could actually have that task do something or do some job, and I could add a comma here, and I could name it whatever I want. So yeah, basically you can have as many tasks as you want, and then this single task up here now will run them back to back depending on the order you have in this section. So yeah, that's how you do it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if this video was helpful to you, please like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you again on next week Friday. So yeah, peace.